Yeah, hey Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Get me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schwein, right here on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. It's age versus youthers here in the locker room as the youth movement is back in with me here on a Sunday morning, April 16th. Danny Ryan, the producer, the intern, Andrew Leeds, and fellas, what a great day for Philly sports yesterday. The Sixers got off onto the right foot, and Andrew Leeds, you were in attendance.
Yeah, I was lucky enough. My dad and I just happened to look an hour or two before the show yesterday. I was like, you know what, tickets might be a little cheap, and we found some nice higher level seats for pretty cheap.
How were the what was the view, the vantage point? How was
it was level 200s, but it was perfectly center of the court.
You couldn't ask for much better.
I mean, we were high up, but we were center court,
right.
So we weren't high and to the one side.
And you were there in the middle of all the action. Of course, on the show yesterday, you guys all asked me, who do you think's going to ring the bell?
Yeah,
I got that one right.
You guessed it first try. Nick Sirianni was a
Why
good
not?
guess.
Why wouldn't you? You can't have Rob Thompson do it because he's out. He's out in Cincinnati.
I was hoping maybe we'd get a Jalen Hurts, but I mean, Nick Sirianni, it was cool.
But Nick's the leader of the ship, right?
Yeah, and he's the
captain of the ship.
We just saw him throw out the first pitch at the Phillies game when we were both there last week. So now getting to see him ring the bell for the first playoff game, it makes sense.
Right. So yesterday was my mother's 102nd birthday. So we spent the whole day with Mamesley after I got out of the studio, and we got to watch the Sixers game one at 1:00 tip-off. Danny Ryan, good morning, brother.
Good morning. How we doing this morning?
The second half of the youth,
sir.
movement in here in the locker room
every Sunday.
Danny, give me your first impressions of, because you knew everybody kind of knew that the Sixers should beat the Knicks with no problem, right?
The Nets.
The Nets, no problem, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Did they accomplish? Did they accomplish what you needed to see in game one?
Yeah, they went above and beyond.
There was a 20-point with victory, but for most of the game, it was nipping. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it wasn't a 3-point game. I don't think they got as close as 7.
Yeah. See, for me, being there at the game, it was a really great experience because it was the Sixers had control of the game the whole time. It was a comfortable game, but it was never out of reach for the Nets. And that's what made it fun to attend live, is that it stayed within 7 to 10 for the most part. And then they kind of blew up in the fourth quarter.
Right.
But it was a fun, entertaining game that the Sixers
How was the crowd,
control.
Danny? Andrew, how was the crowd? Was
the
it
crowd
loud?
The crowd was loud, but I'll tell you, loudest.
Give it a grade. Give that crowd a grade.
It gets an A-, an A.
It gets an A.
I mean, I wish the loudest moment wasn't when we got free chicken nuggets. I mean, that was ready to the
bricking
arena
for chicken.
Bricking for chicken.
I've got the app, but I only have till 10. I only have till 10 o'clock, right? Don't you have
tomorrow because it's closed.
Okay, right.
That's right.
Okay,
yeah.
so maybe I'll take advantage of that tomorrow.
Yeah,
because I got it on my app. You have to have the app, right? The
I think
app?
I think you have to have the app, and in honor of Ben Simmons, you could get for 2 missed free throws. You can
in honor of Ben Simmons,
you can get some free chicken nuggets.
So, Danny, you just said that you think they accomplished their goal in game one. They played pretty well. Philadelphia hit 21 3-pointers last night.
That's huge. Yeah. That's huge. And I learned something yesterday that Phillies had the best.
By the way, that's a new franchise record.
Yeah, and they had the best 3-point percentage in the NBA regular season this past year. I never would have guessed that. So, they are ready to come into the playoffs. They took care of business in game one against the Nets. Tobias Harris with 21 points was huge. Embiid, it's crazy to say this, and we've said it before, but 26 points, not his ideal night. Yeah. But he still dominated for the most part. And then James Harden with, 7 huge 3-pointers. That's all you could ask for from Harden there, along with 13 assists. They did exactly what I expected them to do, but you're right. It wasn't like it was a 15-point lead the entire game. It was under 10 points.
It was under 10 points.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nip and tuck.
And Danny brought up a great point with Embiid.
My brother said, too. He made a good point. I guess it was in the third. He goes, you know what? These guys are hanging around. They're hanging around. But then once they started pulling away, I think it was right around the bricking for chicken time.
It was kind of already out. They put the bench in. But it was right before. It was like a minute before.
Yeah, right before that.
Yeah, and Danny brought up a good point. Embiid only having 26, but another great thing I'm sure you guys see on TV, but being live, it was just so ridiculous to see every time Embiid catch the ball to watch all three nets scurry. They looked like flies scurrying around some food every time Embiid got the ball from being that high up and them being small and wearing black uniforms. It was so surreal every time Embiid caught it, three guys running and surrounding him.
So big game one win. Then I watched the Knicks and the Cavaliers last night.
That was a great game.
And that was a great game. It looks like Villanova North because they got Josh. Yeah. They've got Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
And I was actually pulling for the Knicks, even though I bet against them.
Yeah.
I took Cleveland last night, and
yeah, that didn't work out.
But it was a good game. It was one of the more competitive games, and I guess I really thought the Cleveland Cavaliers would win that game. Opening, playing at home.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge win on the road for the Knicks. First off.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a big win for those guys.
To get that offensive rebound, too, with time running out and under 10 seconds, Julius Randle goes up and gets that offensive rebound and stops the chance of any comeback from the Cavs. It was huge.
Yeah, that rebound was huge. And I mean, this series it's really the only series of any interest in the East. I mean, you got Sixers. Nets, that should be a sweep 5 game. You got Celtics Hawks, that should be a 5 game. Miami Milwaukee could be interesting, but I do think Milwaukee's gonna win.
Yeah, I don't want to see the Heat in the playoffs.
I would rather see them than the Bucks.
Yeah.
And you know what? Miami's got our number.
You know what? I want Miami.
Let's be honest though, Billy. The Heat of the Bucks.
No, I know, but
here's the thing.
You two guys both realize that Miami Heat own us.
Yeah, but here's the
Jimmy
thing.
Butler's not going to lose to us.
If Miami wins, guess what that means though? That means we don't see Boston in the second round.
That's right.
We'd be seeing we would be seeing the Knicks or the Cavs, which
Philadelphia shot 48.8% from the three beyond the arc.
It's beautiful.
That's unbelievable.
I don't know if you guys noticed.
Well, you know what the biggest stat for me was?
What was it?
They turned 14 offensive rebounds into 21 second chance points.
That's huge. I mean,
that is like that's a telling stat right there.
And that shows the lack of size the Nets really have there, besides Nick Claxton and
14 steals in game one.
That
means they were playing some aggressive defense.
They were. They definitely 100% were. And to that point as well, did you notice the difference within PJ Tucker and just how he kind of conducted himself? Playoff PJ is here.
He's
really aggressive.
Yeah, but Harden had him for 2 wide open looks and he missed them.
He's got to make them.
But the second, remember he got it back for the second opportunity?
Yeah. No, that was great. Bill, that's what you bring up a good point. 5 offensive rebounds for PJ Tucker. That's absolutely incredible.
No. All right, so I give it to you. I'll give it to the youth.
Yeah.
I'll give it to the youthers.
You would like to see him.
That's a good point,
right.
young Bucks.
That's why you signed him.
That's why I got you in here.
Yeah. And that's why you signed PJ, for his intensity in the playoffs and his defense in the playoffs.
Everybody was ripping him all year long. Like, what's that stat we read a couple times where he was like, when he doesn't score any points,
the Sixers were like 20-4. Like, it was incredible. They just play better when he. But one other thing from last night, which was huge, is I feel like a lot of people are going to look at last night and, the Sixers are never going to shoot that well from 3 again. But you look at the Nets, and I don't think the Nets are going to shoot as good as they did again last night. Last night, they had an estimated 65% total field goal percentage, including threes and free throws.
Right.
That's the highest in a loss in playoff history.
Wow.
So the Nets didn't even come out there. Like, they shot 45% from 3 and 55% from the field. They had a good offensive night.
Yeah, they really did. So we got a great show lined up. As always, every Sunday, we go on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene, brought to you by the John R. Elliott Hero Campaign for designated drivers, a longtime partner for the Philadelphia Phillies, reminding you not to drink and drive and to always have a designated driver. Designated hitters win games. Designated drivers save lives. Take the Hero Pledge today at Hero Campaign. Driver. We'll talk to Tommy Greene at the bottom of the hour, and then get our Phillies fill. What a disappointment that was. And by the way, so we were all, once the Sixers won, everybody's feeling good. Mom's 102, and she's even watching the game.
Yesterday was actually my grandfather's birthday.
How about that? So we were hanging out, and then the Phillies come on.
Yeah, I was going to say you left out when you mentioned you watched the Sixers and then you watched the Knicks. I was going to mention you left somebody out.
Well, that's because we went to the Knicks because why watch the Phillies?
Yeah.
After the 5th inning, they were getting crushed.
It was brutal, man. Will Myers looked like an MVP candidate. He hasn't been relevant in 2 years, 3 years.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Like see, this goes to show you, and we're going to talk to Tommy Greene. I maintain that and Brad Quast, who's our co-host during the football season. He played at the level. He played at the Jets. He played a 3-time All Big Ten linebacker at Iowa. He played for the Eagles. He's played at a high level. When you get to that level, they're all capable of winning.
Yeah.
They're all great athletes.
Yeah.
But there's teams that should, and there's teams that shouldn't win. And the Phillies, over the past 2 series against the Reds, should not be losing this much.
I saw a tweet this morning that said, "I can't believe that I'm begging for a series split against the Reds."
It's brutal, man. I mean, we are down bad as Philadelphia Phillies fans, as the kids would say. Seriously, though, I mean, Will Myers, 5 at-bats with 4 hits, 4 runs scored, and 5 RBIs.
Yeah.
That guy is a scrub.
Talk about the Mid-Adelphia Phillies.
7th in the order?
He had like a 210 batting average last year. Like, he hasn't had a good season since his rookie year in Tampa Bay.
And by the way, this Strom, prior to last night's game, I mean, he pitched 10 innings. He had a 0.0 ERA. Mm-hmm. He was 1-0. He's looked really good.
Yeah. You can't ask for much more than him in the first 2 starts, at least. So I'm going to take yesterday as a fluke. And just hope that he can bounce back in his next start.
Yeah, and the main thing, the one shining light of the Phillies right now is that Bryson Stott's hit streak is still alive at 15 games.
All right,
that's nice.
By the way, you young bucks, just to let you know, yesterday I believe Josh pointed out that in 2008 and 2009, both years the Phillies went to the World Series. Their Aprils were just horrendous. I think they were like 8-13 or something, and 10-12 or something.
Case in point, look at the 2019 Washington Nationals.
They were in last place,
21-29, I believe, through the first 2 months. You can't really make it up, and teams can just get hot quick. You saw it with the Phillies when they won the NL pennant last year. If they can get hot during playoff time, there's no stopping.
And shifting to basketball last year, the Celtics, they started off, I think it was like 12-20, and then they made it to the finals. The Sixers themselves this year started off 12-12, and here we are.
So the young guys, we'll get to the Eagles in the second half of the program, because yesterday we alluded to, you left early because you went to the game. I don't know if you caught our show.
I listened to some of it until we lost you.
Okay, which is right around.
It's around Turnersville.
Well, it's right when you get to 42.
Yeah.
We got a big show lined up today. We're going to have a lot of fun. We'll talk Eagles in the second half of the hour, talk about the draft. I would like to get your opinion on a lot of people looking at this, the running back from Texas. I don't want to run it back with the 10th pick.
Man.
Danny, you're good. Then we'll go round and round because
I just would love to dive into this with you.
We're going to.
I can't wait.
Let's do it.
I don't know where you were. You didn't really take
I'll save it till the second hour.
You save it to the second hour.
Let the listeners
I can't
have
wait
something
to
to wait
see
for.
what the youth is going to produce out of here today.
I'm not, and it's not going to be as bold as you might think, but I'm not, I'm not opposed to it too much.
Hold on to that because you'll tell us.
Let's do it. Come on.
We'll get it in the second half. All right. I want to remind people the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts. Entire process from contract signing to closing of the shortest center city at every day. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or contact the Ocean City office at 609-399-1227. Hey, folks, I'm here to tell you about Lavari Seafood Bar and Grill, located in Route 50 and Tuckahoe Road in Petersburg, just 8 minutes over Ocean City's 34th Street Bridge. It's an old school bar, 18 big screen TVs, daily specials, open every day at 11 a.m., celebrating 15 years in business. Thursday night is wing night, dollar wings, $2.50 domestic drafts, live music every Friday night. Hey, if you want to book a private party, call my good buddy Dave Lavari at 609-628-2225. All right, when we return, we'll continue more here in the locker room. Age versus youthers in the locker room right here on 97.3 ESPN.
It's Sixers playoff basketball tomorrow on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the 76ers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Here's Joel with it, turning on Claxton, goes beyond the arc, a fadeaway three, and he made it. It throws oozing off from the crowd.
It's Sixers Nets Game 2 tomorrow. Coverage begins at 7:30. It's Sixers playoff basketball on your radio home of the Sixers in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. fees. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
With GMF financing, qualified buyers excludes Corvette.
Ever ask yourself why most people come to Bennett Chevrolet? It's simple. Bennett's selling new Chevys at true GM supplier employee prices. You pay what they pay, not a penny more. Plus, you keep all the rebates. Right now, that's up to $8,000. Now, some dealers are trying to do what we do. They may give you a discount, but then they try to keep some or all of the rebates. Nice try, but not really. Bennett gives you both the GM supplier employee price plus all the rebates. Right now, that's up to $8,000. And there's available 0% financing. Zero. Looking for used? Bennett will pay you a minimum $10,000 for any piece of you can drag to our lot towards any pre-owned in stock. That's at least $10,000. And we pay more, a lot more for good trades. And finally, our sales team is fantastic. Really, unlike other dealers, they're paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. Come see the difference and find new roads at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, here we go. Clap your hands. Yeah, this is my song, baby. We're back in the locker room, broadcasting live from the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schwein, the intern Andrew Leeds, producer Danny Ryan. It's the youth movement in here on Sundays. Some fresh blood. Of course, Andrew was at the game last night, and after the game was finished, they started playing this song. Not one person left, right? Everybody was into the end.
Yeah, people
want to hear that song.
I started walking down when it started, but I made sure. That's
because you were in the nosebleeds.
Yeah, I had a long trip home. I mean, to get to those. But
cars. Nobody leaves. They wait for that song, especially people at the first level.
For sure.
That's worth waiting for. You want to hear that song? That's a win.
I also, for me, it's very similar with Phillies games. Hearing Harry sing "High Hopes," I never leave before Harry sings "High Hopes." I mean, that always moves me just to see good old Harry. But yeah, "Here Comes the Sixers" is a phenomenal.
It's just great
winning
song.
track.
I told you, it's my daughter's favorite song. Out of all, like Eagles Fly.
High
hopes, take me out to the ball game.
It's funny too because it kind of got popular as the Sixers got out of the process era. Like I don't really think anyone heard of it before the Sixers got good.
It's been around for a long time.
Exactly, but it wasn't played. Obviously, you're not going to play it for a team who's 10 and 70. But
Well, I mean, maybe they did, but you only heard it so little.
You only heard it 9 times out of an 82 game season.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Jimmy Butler came to the Sixers, one of his first press conferences, he said, "Man, I love that song." He's like, every time I'm on the visiting team and we lost, I'm singing that song.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hide myself singing that song, even though I'm on the other team.
So Nick Sirianni rings the bell. We spoke yesterday about how Maxey has put people on notice that the players were aware of the run that the Eagles went on, that the Phillies went on, the euphoric atmosphere that was created by winning, going deep in the playoffs for both the Phillies and the Eagles. They want to be a part of this.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you can see that.
You get that feeling after a win when that song's on, everybody's going, it's great.
Yeah, it is great. I mean, I feel like them just even yesterday, just being in that environment where the crowd was so hot. I mean, we were getting B-ball Paul chants ringing throughout the entire arena.
How about the way
Oh
he
my
dribbled
God.
between his legs from behind? Like, I've never seen that.
It was incredible.
It was appropriate for that because if he was going, the defender was going one way, so he brought the ball behind from his backside through his legs. But it put him on a right trajectory for the basket.
You know what the crazy thing is? Rudy Gobert did a play kind of similar to that, but on a much smaller scale after airballing a free throw, and ESPN posted it everywhere. Paul Reed wasn't getting posted to one social media platform, and he blew it out of the water. I mean, that was and like you said, a crazy
Basketball
move.
Paul.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how do you feel about the nickname B-ball?
I love it.
I love
Paul.
See, he's a basketball. That's it. He's a basketball.
But that kind of stuff is fun, and the more you win, the more and if he plays well, if he continues to play, like give us those kind of minutes in a backup role.
It would be, if he continues to play at this level, he would be the greatest backup center that Joel Embiid has had throughout his entire tenure. I think you look at Andre Drummond, he was great.
Right.
You look at Dwight Howard,
yeah, but he wasn't
pretty
great
good
as a Sixer.
No, actually, he was
a pretty good
backup for a backup. Yeah, you had Dwight Howard, who was solid.
Howard, I like.
But then you have a lot of duds. With Amir Johnson wasn't that great. Richon Holmes was great, but they only played him 5 minutes a night. Boban Marjanovic was awesome.
By the way, I want to remind people to check out the website, The Locker Room. Billy Schweim, Andrew Leeds, the IT guy here, and the intern has done a marvelous job with the website. We've got our photo gallery. All of the articles that we write are posted. And you can check out our website. Of course, we even sell T-shirts there.
And if you might even be watching right now on the website.
Yeah,
you go to thelockerroombillyschweim.com. You just scroll down a little bit, and it's playing live as we speak.
All right, James Harden. I want to hear from you, Danny Ryan. James Harden finished with 23 points and a game-high 13 assists, marking his third 20-point, 10-assist playoff game as a Sixer. Has he – now, I know it's against the Nets, but he looked pretty good last night.
He did. I mean,
can he continue? Can he do this against a Celtics team?
You sure hope. I mean, 7 threes would be much needed against a Celtics or a Bucks team. I mean, like you said, it is the Nets, so I'm going to take this with a grain of salt. He looked good, especially shooting the 3-ball last night, but I don't know, or last afternoon, but I don't know. I'm not too convinced that he can. If Joel Embiid can't step up in those big games to the point where he stepped up in regular season games, I'm not ready to say James Harden can yet. I'd like to see it, but like the Bucks and the Celtics, they're a different beast.
Yeah. All right, Andrew, when Embiid went down,
it's
everybody. Look, we call him the human mop here, right? He's the human mop.
Yeah, I don't call him that, but
I call him. He's on the ground every time. He's on the floor every time he goes up.
It's a fair nickname.
All right.
Yes.
When he went down, like I don't even. First of all, I know he got fouled and it was a pretty rough foul.
Was
it a flagrant foul? No, I don't think it was a flagrant.
No, I don't think it was either.
But how did he miss that dunk?
Yeah,
I mean, he did.
I'm 7 foot. How does a 7'2" miss your hands like right even with the rim?
Well, he did get hit. He did get touched in the face. So
I don't care.
It's not as easy as it looks. I mean, I was recording. I was trying to get a good video, and I was like, oh my god, did I just get a video of Joel Embiid going out for the season?
He looked down. He went down pretty hard. And look, the bigger you are, the harder you fall, right?
Exactly.
That's true in his case.
I sounded like you as soon as he fell yesterday. He fell to the ground, and I was like, "What are you doing, falling? Get back up!"
I wish you guys could see. If you're looking on the YouTube channel, I wish you could see me. But this is what I did. I'm going to back away from my microphone, and I actually sat up in my seat and put my hands like this. I went like this. I went, "Oh my gosh, what did we just see?" Like, because of course, every time he looks like when he goes down, it looks like he's not getting up.
It looks like an awkward landing too.
Right?
So you worry about his legs, you worry about a lower body injury.
You guys heard about the boy that cried wolf, right?
Yeah, no, and that's the thing with Embiid.
And then when the one time that he says something that nobody listens. Well, same thing with Embiid. One time he's going to go down, and you think he's just going to accept. You think he's going to get up.
Yeah.
I will say though, I feel like that is. I get what you're saying, but also he has gotten hurt so many times where every time I think forever I'm gonna be grimacing.
Yeah,
just because he's without Joel Embiid, we're done.
Yeah, no, I don't even think there's a debate.
My heart drops
B-ball
every
Paul
time.
Reed ain't gonna carry us.
He's great. B-ball Paul's great, but yeah, he's not the MVP of the NBA.
Defense would slack tremendously, let alone the offense. But
yeah,
well, Paul Reed did post a career high 10 points. 5 of 6 shooting, while also adding 4 rebounds and 2 steals. So defensively, the Sixers played well, and getting those offensive rebounds and putting them up, creating offense. They played well.
I was very encouraged by it, no doubt about it. But I do want to talk about some other role players that really didn't step up for the Sixers, and even the third star for the Sixers in a sense. Tyrese Maxey didn't really have to step up in his 33 minutes, but only 13 points. DeAnthony Melton in 22 minutes had 5 assists, but only 6 points. You're going to need him to be a lot better shooting as you get into the second round of the playoffs. Paul Reed, like you mentioned, did his thing, but everyone else was just kind of out there.
George Niang had a pretty solid performance for George Niang. Making 2 threes. I mean, that's what we need.
I'll take it. He took the role of the 2 missed threes from PJ Tucker, but you know what I'm saying here. Like, if we're going to take down a Bucks or a Celtics in the second round, Tyrese Maxey has to be right up there with Embiid and Harden with 20-plus points, 25-plus points. That's the only chance, because Tobias Harris is not going to do it.
And that's what I was going to counter you with, though, is that the fact that Tobias did have the game that he did it. Again, you brought it up at the beginning. Tyrese Maxey didn't really have to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he looked good. I mean, he shot, pretty efficiently from the field overall. 3 for 5.
Tobias Harris had 21 points, though.
Yeah, but then again,
normally
he's going to have that type of points against a team like that.
But normally Maxey is going to make up for that.
I'm hoping.
Normally they're going to swap point totals.
I think it's just the scarred Sixers fan in me taking every single bad scenario right now and thinking about, oh my gosh, what if this doesn't happen in the second
for the love
round?
of Philly.
All right, Billy.
We're going to transition over to baseball, because in a few minutes we're going to be talking with Tommy Greene. Of course, the Phillies go today. I don't know if their lineup's out. Let me double check.
It actually just was released.
It just got submitted. We'll go over that with Tommy Greene. Who's on the mound for the Phillies today?
Mr. Aaron Nola, 7.04 ERA, baby.
Well, he's going to have a great outing today.
I'm hoping.
Guarantee from the Schweiner.
Yeah, guaranteed.
He didn't have a great outing against the Reds his first time around, so we'll see.
Okay, so when we get back, we'll talk to Tommy Greene, talk a little Phillies baseball. First out of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to Center City and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey, PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or the Ocean City office. Give them a call at 609-399-1227. There is a new wind blowing at Maserati the Main Line. The all-new Maserati Gregale midsize SUV has officially arrived. Stop by Maserati the Main Line, located in Devon, PA, just minutes away from Center City, Philadelphia, to experience it for yourself. With class-leading space, advanced driving, and technology features, the Gregale makes every journey a thrilling experience. From your daily commute to weekend road trips, the Maserati Gregale elevates every moment into something that's truly special. Test drive the all-new Gregale for yourself and experience how it makes every day exceptional. Visit them online at motml.com or give them a call at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800 to schedule your test drive. Ask for Michael Pileggi because he knows all about the Maserati Gregale. When we return, we'll talk with Tommy Greene. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim right here on 97.3 ESPN.
The NBA playoffs today on ESPN Radio. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers head to Memphis for Game 1 against Ja Morant and the Grizzlies.
For the Lakers, Anthony Davis needs to be the dominant player on the court. As for Memphis, winning this series comes down to one thing: discipline.
Game 1 of the Lakers and Grizzlies, presented by Indeed. Coverage begins today at 2:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Listen to the NBA playoffs exclusively on 97.3 ESPN.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Calling again, again and again. Calling again, again and again.
Every year, hundreds of children suffer from unintentional injuries or death due to unsecured guns. Camden County and Moms Demand Action South Jersey are asking for your help to reduce gun violence by spreading the Be Smart message.
Store guns unloaded, locked, and separate from ammunition. And talk to other parents about secure gun storage.
It's up to us to prevent these tragedies and save lives. Visit CamdenCounty.com/BeSmart to learn how we can stop gun accidents and deaths together.
Mom, Dad, Sis?
Here we go again.
Why are you in a suit? Picture, if you will, a world with the best network imaginable. I'm talking about the Xfinity 10G network. Go on. Mom, remember how your reality shows wouldn't load with all of us online? Now you can binge. And Susie, we'll have fast internet in the basement.
Nice.
If you have any questions, here's my card.
This is just your name on a gum wrapper.
Introducing the 10G network only from Xfinity. The future starts now. Now through April 23rd, new customers can get 200 megabit Xfinity internet during our limited time Xfinity 10G network launch celebration for just $25 a month for 2 years. Plus, there's no annual contract required and you get Wi-Fi equipment included. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Actual speeds vary.
It's Spring Black Friday at the Home Depot, and we have laundry appliances that just fit. Fit your space, fit your needs, and fit your budget. Like a new Samsung laundry set with large capacity, so you spend less time doing laundry. And with sensor dry technology to automatically optimize time and temperature, you'll spend less energy on it too. Save up to $600 on this Samsung laundry set in-store and online during Spring Black Friday at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
You're listening to with Billy Schwein, 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, we're back here at the Toms River Auto Group studio, broadcasted live in Northfield. Billy Schwein, the intern Andrew Leeds.
Yep.
Producer Danny Ryan, the youth movement in here with me today. And it's always good to get a fresh perspective from the young cats. But now it's time every Sunday throughout baseball season. We go on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene, brought to you by the John R. Elliott Hero Campaign for designated drivers. Hey, a longtime partner of the Philadelphia Phillies reminding you not to drink and drive and to always have a designated driver. Designated hitters win games. Designated drivers save lives. Take the Hero Pledge today at herocampaign.org. And remember to be a hero. Be a designated driver. Let's go to our hero. Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome into the locker room former Phillies pitcher great Tommy Greene. Good morning, T. Greene.
Brother.
There you are, buddy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
All right, I'll tell you what, Tommy Greene, man. I don't know if we should be excited that the Phillies are off to a slow start because in 2008, 2009, both years they went to this World Series, they had horrible Aprils.
That seems to be the flavor, doesn't it? That seems the way it's going. I didn't expect them to get off to a 5-10 start, or so. I mean, but I thought it would be a little bit better than that. But I mean, that's the way it goes sometimes, and you have to adjust and figure out a way to do things. They just got to play better baseball, and that's bottom line.
Hey, Tommy, let me ask you a question. When you guys come up from spring training, when you come up from Florida, like the Phillies, April's usually cold and rainy, and is it hard to get? I know you guys love baseball. It's a business. You're making money, but you're human also. You come up from the beautiful weather in Florida, and then you're playing in freezing cold temperatures, and that would always seem to be a good excuse in place for not hitting the ball and everything. But not this year. It's been nice and warm. They played pretty much in good weather conditions. What's the reason for the slow start?
Well, I'll tell you what, they're actually hitting the ball. Right. I mean, they got 6 to 9 guys basically you're, or at least that are hitting 300 right at it, or if not 300. But the problem is not they're hitting. It's that when they get on bases, driving them in. They're getting the runs in. They're not scoring runs. That's bottom line. I was looking at stuff last night. They're out of all the teams in the big leagues, they're 24th in runs scored. In average, they're 4th. in the big leagues.
Well, they're
So,
making.
dude, I mean, well, watch the thing. That shows you they're not getting timely hitting, and also accompanying that, some of the base running mistakes are knocking them out of innings. Sometimes, so I mean, it's accumulation of things. They're just not playing as good a fundamental baseball as they can, and they need to do that right now because they're not healthy like they need to be. They're missing pieces, and hopefully they can get some things started. I mean, some guys can plug it in and they call up and do different things or whatever they're going to do. They start turning it around. They got to do that.
Yeah, well, they've left a lot of runners on base. I think it was like 4. They were 4 for 34 or something in the last 3.
4 for 31.
4 for 31 in that when they were 0-3.
During that losing streak.
During that losing streak, they're making
with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, they're making base running mistakes that it's costing them. So, like, obviously these guys are big league ball players. Tommy, what are they making base running mistakes for?
Well, I know. I mean, on top of that, Billy. I mean, we're getting on base, it's a pretty good clip, but it's stalling out. It's like an engine, getting the full fuel filter, getting something in and clogged up a little bit, and it causing you to sputter. And the main reason, some of the main reasons, and like I said before, there's the base running stuff. But you look at it, you dive a little bit more deep. They're striking out. They strike out the second most in the big leagues right now.
Wow.
They're almost leading baseball in strikeouts, and that's a huge thing when you get the first 2 runners on. You strike out twice and get a pop up, and that's happened. That happened yesterday or the day before or something like that. And stuff like that. When you start getting is to get them over, get them in mentality of batting practice, of keeping it simple. And that's what they should. I mean, I've never watched them really take batting practice and go to theory. I just can go off on the way. I'm talking coming up with the Braves and the Phillies. Every first round in each group went through is when you get a runner on first base, that next guy is get him over. I mean, they steal second or whatever, or they get him over. They bunt him over. Get him over to third, get him in from third.
Right,
that's the routine. They're not trying to smack the ball. They're trying to make solid contact and just go the other way, get a ball in the air with a man on third or something like that, depending on, what the situation is. So right now they're not executing. They're striking out too much and they're making too many mistakes on the base pass.
We're talking with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene. We go on the mound with Tommy Greene every Sunday. Brought to you by the John R. Elliott Hero Campaign. I don't know, man. Losing 13-0 to a team that lost over 100 games last year, that's a tough pill to swallow. Making average baseball players look like Babe Ruth.
Well, I tell you what, you look at some of the arms the arm they threw at him yesterday is legit.
Right. Lodolo's no shots either.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, good pitching when they're on. And those guys are staying out of the middle of the plate. Can put a good lineup to sleep, a little bit, and you got to credit some of the pitching for that on their behalf. It got out of hand late. Obviously Strom didn't have his best command and stuff like that. You can't expect him to be Cy Young every time he goes out there because he pitched his first 2 out of 3 starts were outstanding.
He had 10 innings. He had 10 innings with a 0.0 ERA. And then he comes out last, but he had a cut on his. He opened up a cut on his finger.
Oh, great!
Yesterday.
And you're talking about pitching. You always talk about command. So if there's something going on, a lot of people don't know about. I didn't know that for myself because I was out running, doing a lot. I was trying to figure out why, he didn't, but I didn't really find where it said he had a cut or anything like that. But that answers a lot of questions. You start messing with a blister or a cut on your finger or something, you start messing. That's called command. You start losing command, you start throwing balls, you start leaving them over the plate. Runners get on, and that's what happens. He leaves the game, and the reliever comes in and throws a 3-run homer up there that really hurts you.
Yeah, good morning, Tommy. This is Andrew.
Bellotti had pitched well, and Bellotti had pitched well up to the past week or up to this past 4 or 5 games. He's kind of he's hit a struggle, and I think the guys are starting to get exposed a little bit more too early. Look how much they pitched already. Yeah.
Good morning, Tommy. This is Andrew Leeds. You mentioned earlier about timely hitting, and the lack of it with the Phillies right now. But I mean, one guy that is hitting pretty timely is Bryson Stott with that 15-game hitting streak. And I just wanted to know, what do you think? How important is that for a young guy like Bryson Stott trying to make a career in the MLB, keeping this hitting streak going despite all the, the poor play around him?
Well, bottom line, you're going out there each day to play a baseball game and play to the best of your ability. Nobody's going out there to fail, and you got to be able to put, to continually play at this level. You can't dwell on the past. You learn from the past mistakes and keep working and try to do better at what you do good at. And that's what you got to forget what happened yesterday. It's not being a good reliever. You can give it up yesterday, but you can be right back in the ball game again today, and you just got to forget about it. You learn why you made the mistake or why you're in the situation you're in, and you keep moving forward. Bryson Stott's in a good place. He learned for the life of me, I don't know why he tried to change from what he did at the end of last year. Yeah, he probably got wore out a little bit physically, but the way he was hitting and his approach and stuff, because he spread it out, he changed his stance during spring. He wanted to try something different. He did. It didn't work. He goes back to the old, and look where he's at. I don't know why he changed to begin with. When it's not broke, you don't mess with it, too much. But I tell you what, it's a good thing seeing a kid from their organization come up through the ranks and have success in the big leagues. He's moved. He's played around the infield. Now he's at second base. He looks like he's as comfortable as he can be. He works counts as a hitter. Mm-hmm. And he hits the ball all over the field for the most part. Now, I hope people don't get on him, about anything about power numbers or anything like that. Some of that thing's going to come as it goes. But hey, just leave we got to leave the kid alone, let him play, because he's doing a great job and doing what he needs to do, because they're bouncing him around the lineup some. Hey, he just needs to go out there like he's doing, see ball and hit ball.
Tom, you make a great point there. Between Alec Boehm, how he started the year, how Bryson Stott has started the year with the 15-game hitting streak, it's nice to see some talent from the farm system come up and succeed. But speaking of talent from the farm system, a guy who's been up for a few years now, Aaron Nola, he faces the Reds today, actually, for a 140 first pitch on the mound. He, as you know, has had a rough go of it to start the season. 7.04 ERA, led up 4 runs to Miami with 9 hits and 5 2/3 in his last start. But he's got a 4-2 record with a 3.63 ERA in 9 appearances, 58 strikeouts. What are you expecting this afternoon from Aaron Nola? Does he finally get that game where he turns it around and moves on to better things?
Well, he's due. He had. And he's kind of struggled a little bit. Not every game, he did have a quality game earlier. Where he gave up a couple runs, like in the 6th or something like that, but he actually pitched a real good ball game. It's about Aaron is about the consistency and his ability to locate his fastball. And sometimes he gets a little flat, ball stays on the plane a little bit, but when he starts missing up in the zone, it looks like to me when he gets, because his motion, the way he throws is a little unorthodox compared to some other guys, obviously, but because not everybody's exactly the same, but he tends to look like to me to get under baseballs, and he's not a guy that, to me, that can pitch up in the zone all the time. Like they're like most of the guys you see. I was watching guys the other day. I was watching the bench, and everything was at the top of the zone. You had guys throw hard, but it's unbelievable up there. And that's where it doesn't make. You play in certain ballparks like Cincinnati, and you start living up in the zone. It doesn't take. There's ball pop-ups go out of that joint. Balls fly there. It's like Wrigley Field with the wind blowing out. So you're living a dangerous life. Getting those fly balls. Yeah, hitters want it up there, but pitchers, you can pitch up there, but you got to pitch down early, and that's the key with Aaron. If he commands the fastball early, and which opens up that breaking ball, it comes out of the same slot, and they can't depict where it's at. That's when he starts getting a lot of swing and misses, because they can't decipher if it's a fastball starting out or not, and they got to cover the dish, because he's up in the count, run less than being behind in the count. So it's all about command with Aaron. Sometimes he gets in those little funks and he starts missing the zone a little bit. And sometimes when he starts missing the zone, and it's every pitcher's nightmare, you start missing over the plate, real less out over the plate, real less, and missing maybe off the plate some. But you can't pitch scared. and you got to go and attack the zone your best ability. But he's got to locate his fastball better down in the zone. He's got to pitch. To me, he's always been the guy that's got to pitch down. So.
And Tommy, just a quick follow-up. I mean, Rob Thompson talked about it in the beginning of the year. Aaron Nola really struggled with the pitch clock, and to me, he hasn't improved with the pitch clock, in my opinion. How do you think, or how many starts do you think it's going to take for him to really get fully adjusted to this new rule? And as a former pitcher yourself, how do you think you would adjust to this rule? How many starts or relief appearances do you think it would take for you to get used to that rule?
Well, we always tried to work quicker. I know because when I tended to get in trouble, I can vouch for myself. Especially in the minor leagues, you're learning a lot when you come into pro ball, and things starts getting out of control a little bit. My habit, is to walk around the mound. I was walk around, I'd walk and take time. And you don't realize you're doing as much because you're trying to stay in control. Mm-hmm. You're trying to get your breathing right. You're trying to, you gather your thoughts. And my pitcher coach would always tell me, hey, you can do the same thing, but back right up on the mound and get back up on the mound and do the same thing. We want you to keep your tempo, which if you keep your tempo, things, tend to repeat better. You tend to repeat your mechanics better, and you tend to possibly locate better. You're trying to do the same things over and over again to repeat. But a lot of, it's a mental game too, and you got to get. And LA said it on the radio the other day. I was listening. Personally, I don't like the clock, and I think it's messing with some guys. It's because we were always taught, and some of these guys were taught, hey, things get out of control. Hey, take a step off the back of the mound. I teach kids that now. Yeah. I'm not. We're not out there turning into Iron Mike throwing bat practice just because somebody wants to speed up the friggin' game. I hate that. So it turns into that because some guys are not wired that way.
Right.
You need when things start getting out of control. I get the pitch clock. Don't get me wrong, but there's got to be something a little bit more. We talked about it maybe a little bit more. Make a universal number, 20, 25 seconds, leave it alone.
Right. I actually like the pitch clock. These games now are like 2 minutes, 2 hours, and anywhere between 2 hours and 43 minutes to 2 hours and 56 minutes. And I think it's helped the game. It's speeded up for sure. But some pitchers, like you said, are having a hard time adjusting to it. We're talking with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene, as we do every Sunday on the Mound with Tommy Greene, brought to you by the John R. Elliott Hero Campaign for designated drivers. Now, Tommy, before we let you go, great article in the Philadelphia Inquirer Sunday edition on your good buddy Darren Dalton and some of the things that he was going through before his death to cancer. But he played on that. They had that turf that contained 16 type of chemicals, and they're attributing to the Veterans Stadium turf to the cancer deaths that are attributed to the 5 Phillies or 6 Phillies that passed away.
Well, you start messing. You're talking about stuff like that. I hope they find something that's that they can correlate and hopefully save people's lives. Up in the area, because I've done some stuff with the foundation. And I happen to be around some doctors like from Duke University that are trying to make a difference in this disease, and try to find a cure or possibly something that give people, a longer life with it. And one of the doctors asked me, he says, "What is going on in the Northeast?" He said, "It's like ground zero up here."
Well, you're looking. You got
glioblastoma. So I don't know. And talking about Darren, it's the thing. I hate things coming out and start talking about things that they don't know.
Like they were talking about lizards, talking to himself like crazy talk. Maybe that's because it was attacking his brain.
Well, I don't know. I can't vouch for anything like that. I don't like to talk about people, especially one of my dear friends that I love very much, and stuff like that. The people are always going to find fault with people's beliefs and what they go with. In certain times in people's lives, they are going through things. They're trying to figure out things. So I choose not to, to talk about something that you don't know something is a fact. We can always speculate. I choose to be on the positive side of things. But I want to try to. That's why I'm involved with obviously Darren was one of my dear friends involved, and I'm involved with the foundation to try to make a difference with these families that are going through this, and the people that do have glioblastoma, but to hopefully give them a better quality.
Well, I got to tell you, Tommy, it's no coincidence that something's going on, because Dalton, Tug McGraw, John Vukovic, David West, Johnny Oates, and Ken Brett all succumbed to the same deal, same disease, playing on that turf. But hopefully they figure it out. Well, listen, Tommy, happy Sunday to you. We really appreciate having you on every Sunday on the Mound with Tommy Greene, and I look forward to talking to you next week.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right, let's go, Phils. All right, there he is, Tommy Greene on the Mound with Tommy Greene, brought to you by the John R. Elliott Hero Campaign for designated drivers, a longtime partner of the Philadelphia Phillies, reminding you not to drink and drive and to always have a designated driver. Designated hitters win games. Designated drivers save lives. Take the Hero Pledge today at herocampaign.org, and remember to be a hero. Be a designated driver. The first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shortest center city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that's run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap up hour number one. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Hey, it's Mike Gill. Coming up on Monday's show, we'll take a look back at the Sixers and Nets game one and get you ready for Monday's game number two, Phillies weekend, and all the latest on the Eagles draft. That's all coming up Monday on the Sports Bash.
The Sports Bash, weekdays from 2 to 6 on 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's sports leader.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Hi, this is ex-Philadelphia Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, and I'm the current publisher of Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and I'm asking you to become a Camden County police officer and help make our city a better place to live. The Camden County Police Department is now hiring for sworn officers who are going to make a difference in our community. The first year's salary for the position is $51,000. So join the effort today to be part of something bigger than yourself. Visit CamdenCountyPD.org to apply online. That's CamdenCountyPD.org. Thank you.
Every piece of land has a story. For the Caggianos, it's keeping their yard pristine with a John Deere Z530MC track mower, because it's not just a yard, it's a gathering place.
Work and play kind of meld together for us.
They run a brewery, harvest their own hops, and keep things tidy for their guests.
People say, what are you? Are you a farmer or a brewer? So I say, I'm a farmer brewer.
When you love what you do, it's not really work. Run with us on a Z530M mower and start telling your story. Learn more at johndeere.com/radio.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877 Ask Dell.
With GMF financing, qualified buyers excludes Corvette. Ever ask yourself why most people come to Bennett Chevrolet? It's simple. Bennett's selling new Chevys at true GM supplier employee prices. You pay what they pay, not a penny more. Plus, you keep all the rebates. Right now, that's up to $8,000. Now, some dealers are trying to do what we do. They may give you a discount, but then they try to keep some or all of the rebates. Nice try, but not really. Bennett gives you both the GM supplier employee price plus all the rebates. Right
All right, we're back here, broadcasting live at the Tom's River Auto Group studio. The locker room with Billy Schwein. The youth movement is here with me today. Andrew Leeds, the intern. Danny Ryan, the producer.
It's been a good one so far.
Hey, listen, hour two, we'll finish up with little Sixers, little Phillies, and then we'll get into our Eagles talk. Got a lot to talk about. We'll open up the text board at 609-403-0973.
Get those texts in.
Yeah, let's get some text messages coming on in. 609-403-0973 is the text board. We'll talk some Eagles football draft.
Yeah, gonna have a lot of fun.
Sixers basketball, and hopefully the Philadelphia Phillies can get a win out of Aaron Nola. Get all that coming up next. All that and more right here in the locker with Billy Schwein, right here on 97.3 ESPN and a 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
The Eagles Draft Party is back. You can enter to win an Eagles road trip and tailgate party thanks to Philly Sports Trips and PhillySportsTrips.com. The Sports Bash with Mike Gill will be live on Thursday, April 27th from 2 to 6 p.m. at Maynard's, 9306 Amherst Avenue in Margate, where one lucky listener will win a trip for 4 to see an Eagles road game against either the Giants, Jets, or Commanders on a Philly Sports Bus trip, which includes round-trip charter buses leaving from the Philly Stadium, a pregame tailgate party, and 4 tickets to the Eagles game. Listen to the Sports Bash and Game Night at 55 after each hour for your chance to win. When you hear the Pick Your Trip sounder, be caller 7 at 609-573-3776. And we'll see you at Maynard's in Margate with a chance to pick your trip, courtesy of Philly Sports Trips. Do Philly Sports road trips with the pros. Plan your trip at PhillySportsTrips.com.
Nature Valley Crunchy Bars are the snack for out there. You know, the place where you hear sounds like this. And this. Oh, and this. Nature Valley. Life happens out there.
This world has its limits, but in the all-new, all-electric Nissan Ariya, you've got a world of possibilities. You can leave it all behind in serene interiors, or you can go after it with available e-Force all-wheel drive. Go your way in the all-new, all-electric Nissan Ariya. Nissan Ariya with e-Force not yet available for purchase. Expected availability early 2023, subject to change. e-Force all-wheel drive is an optional feature. e-Force cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text PLACE to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text PLACE to 200-300 right now. Text the word PLACE to 200-300. Don't wait. Text PLACE to 200-300.
Wait, aren't these all charitable donations?
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person counts.
I'd rather not have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
On itemized deductions. Hey, can someone help with these 1099s?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Spring is here, and so are the ants, mice, and termites. Don't let pests ruin your spring. Be a Viking and send pests packing. Viking Pests can solve any pest problem. Visit VikingPest.com for a free quote. That's VikingPest.com.
South Jersey's play-by-play home for the Eagles,
Touchdown!
Sixers,
It's good!
and Flyers.
Oh, big save by Carter Hart.
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station.
Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Von Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schwein.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Let me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
All right, we're back here in the locker room, broadcasting live from the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Sunday morning in the locker room with Billy Schwein. We got the age versus the youth.
Yep.
As the intern Andrew Leeds and the producer Danny Ryan are in the studio with me today. And fellas, we got a 140 first pitch in Cincinnati, and then game one between the Lakers and Grizzlies today.
Ooh, it'll be a good one. I think that series has potential to be a great one.
I want the Grizzlies.
You're rooting
I'm not a
for
LeBron James guy.
Yeah, I'm not a Grizzlies fan at all. I actually despise them. They are not my cup of tea, especially Dylan Brooks, because he's a lot of talk and not a lot of play. So, yeah.
I am a LeBron fan.
Let's go Lakers.
You like LeBron?
I like LeBron.
I like LeBron.
Listen.
I like LeBron his first 3 years in the league.
If you're about to sit here and tell me you don't like LeBron because he complains, then you don't like every player in the NBA.
That's not why I don't like LeBron.
I know. Let's hear it then. Let's hear it.
Why don't I not like LeBron? Let me count thy ways.
Okay.
I just not. There's some people you just don't warm up to. He's one of them.
That's fair. I mean, there is a thing I know. He is loud off of the court.
I liked him in his first 3-4 years in the league. I thought he was funny. Commercials that he did, charismatic. He made me laugh. But then he got a little too political. He got. I don't want to like.
He does get loud with
artists. He got too opinionated on things, and I don't agree with a lot of his stances. So I think that's what. Maybe
I know that's what turns a lot of people against LeBron.
Like, even when singers sing, just sing. Don't give me your politics. Players play. Don't give me your politics. And that's why, like, when these athletes start alienating half the crowd, half their supporters, you're asking for trouble.
I understand the perspective, but for me, regardless of whether I agree or disagree with the player's politics, I do try to just focus on the player as a player.
How about
I know it's difficult when they're loud.
The Chinese thing.
That
didn't sit well with
still
me.
under fire.
I'm a patriot, man. I love America. I think we're the greatest country on the face of the earth.
That's the same time too. That's Nike as well.
I know. I don't wear Nike products. So,
I wish I could say the same.
I know.
I should get better at that.
I don't go looking. I'm sorry. I don't go looking for Nike products.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go looking for them anymore. When I was a teen, it was like Nike was the thing. But yeah, I mean, it's weird how he hasn't really spoken out on that and addressed it. Like, you're right, but at the same time, it's so out of his control at that point. Like a lot of big companies do that. It's not just Nike.
Well, I mean, a lot of these companies virtue signal, act like this is how they're made. It's not. They don't live their life that way.
Yeah.
Like Andrew, you as you young guys, get through life in your early stages of life here. I mean, did you think of that stuff? Does that, like you said, you try to separate that? I can't.
In a sense,
at my age, I can't.
I get that, and I see like why you would have that perspective. But yeah, I pretty much, unless it's something that I vehemently disagree with to the point where like I think it's going against like basic human rights or something very terrible.
Well, look,
that's different. Like when Myers,
China's a communist country, they go against basic human rights, and yet he's making millions of dollars with them. It's hypocritical.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that educated on the LeBron China thing. I've heard about it, so maybe that would change my opinion. But I'm talking about like Myers Leonard.
I wish I was in your frame of mind at 21, 22 years old. How old are you? 20?
I just turned 22 on Wednesday.
Right, 22 on Wednesday. You're like, I wish I didn't think of any of that stuff.
My thing
but
is,
I do. You get older, you think of that stuff.
My argument to support LeBron, and I'm not really supporting him, but just to back him up. I mean, if you're talking LeBron in these ways with the sweatshops and the communist, ways of China, you have to look at Kyrie Irving in that way. You have to look at Kevin Durant in that way.
I do.
I don't know really about the
I'm
other
not a big
brands.
KD fan.
I mean, at the same time, though, is it just because of that, or is
Well,
it
I
because
don't
of their
like
play?
I like KD better than LeBron James.
Okay, but
wow, I did not expect that.
As a basketball player,
Like let me just
Because
say
he
this.
talks a lot on
Let
Twitter.
me just say this, but I don't say it.
Yeah,
Like,
but
the Twitter sphere is not.
see, that's
like,
us. That's our young guys. We see
right.
the stuff on social
I'm
media.
on Twitter because I have to be, not because I want to be. And you guys, do you really? I mean, I'm on Twitter at Locker Room 973. I tweet about Philadelphia sports. That's it.
It is interesting how, with the difference in our age,
That's right.
you care about politics and we care about like social media and like how they're
Right.
personality wise, and you're more of a political.
But Andrew, Twitter isn't reality. A
I
lot
know.
of stuff that's on here is not.
I know.
But the sports is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
for the most part. Yeah, I can look at KD and he doesn't make my blood boil. I look at LeBron James, he makes my blood boil.
See, neither of them make my blood boil, but
Same.
if I had to choose one that pissed me off a little bit more than the
KD?
other, it would be KD 100%. Just
Yeah.
because
And
he doesn't take and I get it, Charles Barkley, Shaq on TNT, they can be a lot sometimes.
Yeah.
But he just shoots down their constructive criticism as if they're trying to pick him apart and overall just degrade him as a player. Overall, they're trying to get him better and give him advice on national television. It might not be the place
for him to do that.
but they mean well.
609-403-0973. If you want to participate in the show, send a text message and we'll read your name. Make sure you put your name and where you're from, and we'll read your text.
How do you feel about LeBron, listeners? How do you feel about
Okay,
LeBron James? How do you feel
let's
about
hear.
Kevin Durant? All of these players. Who do you dislike? Who do you like? But anyway, I think we should.
609-403-0973. Now, last night, I'm not a big Knicks guy, but I was even. Here's something really crazy. I wanted Cleveland to win. I bet them, but then as the game progressed, I liked the way the Knicks played. I don't want to say bully ball, but the refs were letting them play last night, and they took advantage of it.
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, I was loving it.
Jalen Brunson got in foul trouble in the first half, too. Had 3 fouls, I believe, in the first half, or if not the first quarter. They couldn't play him for a good portion of that game. Luckily, he was able to not foul out, but that was just a gritty win. I think you explained it perfectly.
Right?
Very, very gritty win for them. And we talked about the Randall offensive rebound that clinched it for them, but that was the biggest offensive
How about in
rebound
the
of his
Sixers game
career.
with Joel Embiid? I forget who the net was that he grabbed him and he pushed him away. You see
Oh, that was
Who was
Royce
that?
O'Neal. I'm
Right,
pretty
right.
sure.
Oh, he was getting way too loud for me yesterday.
But guess what? It's playoff time, and we're going to start seeing more of that.
Yeah.
You're going to start seeing. I want to see that.
And here's the thing that was
I want to see
frustrating.
fight. I don't want to see fights.
Yeah.
I want to see fight in the team.
You want to see intensity. You want to
Yes.
see. And for me last night, the main thing that I was frustrated from that Sixers game is I personally feel like the refs, they were letting one team play. They were playoff officiating. I get it's supposed to be more tight. You're not going to get those calls you get. I
think it should be like the Knicks and the Cavaliers.
and I
Let
agree.
them play.
I agree, but I feel like they were only letting the Nets play. I felt like every time the Nets kind of drove to the basket and there was a little bit of minimal contact, a foul's getting called. I feel like James Harden got more contact than half of the
Officiating
Nets
in the
fouls.
NBA, I don't think is top notch.
No, it's not.
Officiating
we've
anywhere.
had Steve Javi on, and he,
Yeah, we've had Javi on a lot, and I don't think. I think the referees. How can I say this? I don't think they're getting the best referees they could get.
Yeah,
it's weird too
I
because
would
some of
agree.
them are much better, obviously better than others, and so in the same sense, some are much worse. It shows,
Right? It
And
shows.
night in and night out.
And the main thing that gets to me is you look at a guy like Scott Foster, who you cannot tell me that he does not have a bias against Chris Paul. When Chris Paul, I believe it's 0-40 in the last games officiated by Scott
you
Foster.
serious?
It's something
Is that up? Is
ridiculous.
that up?
It's
I'm gonna-
ridiculous.
I'm gonna find that.
Find that exact number, Danny. Yeah, it's ridiculous. You cannot tell me Scott Foster with games with Chris Paul and James Harden officiated in the playoffs and the regular season, they have an abysmal record.
When I look at the Celtics, I look when I say LeBron James burns me up and KD doesn't. Marcus Smart for the Celtics, he gets under my skin, but that's what his role is.
Exactly.
He's there to do that.
He
does a great job. We were talking about a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about villains.
Yeah, he's a great villain. He's the guy that you love to have on your team. You hate to play against.
That's
him.
right.
Joel Embiid to a degree.
PJ Tucker is a perfect example of somebody that we needed to bring in for added toughness, and I thought we got it out of him last time.
Because it's different. I do believe Embiid kind of has that aura around. Even James Harden, they're both kind of villains in the grand scheme of the NBA just because they do get a lot of foul calls. They're good at drawing fouls. It's a skill.
Right.
But people don't like it, obviously, so they hate on them because
if it works
of it.
for you, go with it.
That's the thing with like Embiid and Harden, like people call them free throw merchants. Like it's like they're just there is a skill and art to drawing a foul, and they can do that very well. That's not just nothing. That's not just them flopping.
What do you got, Danny?
14 straight playoff games Chris Paul has lost in which they've been officiated by Scott Foster.
Wow.
Not regular season. These are the ones that mean it a lot.
So the NBA should look into that.
14 in a row.
The NBA should look into that.
And I believe a lot of them are in situations where either Chris Paul is up in the series or it's like a game 5 tied series.
All right. Hey, I want to tell you about two charities that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. On Saturday, June 17th, at 10 Tara's Happy Boxes fundraiser benefited local children at the American Legion on 1st Street in Summers Point there. And it's from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Tickets are $25, which include entry, food, and entertainment. For more information, contact Tara Cioli at 609-415-8398 or email her at tarashappyboxes@gmail.com for more information. Make a donation or contribute to the fundraiser. And, of course, Brian Probst Golf Classic benefiting the Stroke Center, the University of Pennsylvania, on May 15th at the Riverwinds Golf and Tennis Club. For more details, visit golfgaffa.com. Hey, for over 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with a friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle's Liquors was named the best of Philly, best of Atlantic City, with the most competitive prices around. Circle Liquor is now a proud sponsor of the second hour of the Locker Room with Billy Schwein. Throwing a party? Let Chet and his staff make sure you need everything you need. Check out the website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. That's 609-927-2921. Circle Liquor Store in Summers Point, New Jersey. Go in there. Tell Chet we said hello. Folks, I'm here to tell you about Lavari Seafood Bar and Grill. Located on Route 50 and Tuckahoe Road in Petersburg, just 8 minutes over Ocean City's 34th Street Bridge. It's an old school bar, 18 big screen TVs, daily specials, open every day at 11 a.m., celebrating 15 years in business because the food's great, the atmosphere is better. Thursday night is wing night, dollar wings, $2.50 domestic draft, live music every Friday night. Book a private party. Give Dave Lavari a call, 609-628-2225. When we return, we'll continue with more here in the Locker Room. It's age versus youthers, right here in the Locker Room on 97.3 ESPN.
This week on Sunday Night Baseball, it's a showdown between Texas rivals.
Seager swings and drives the ball to center field. It is gone.
Corey Seager and the Texas Rangers head to Minute Maid Park to go head-to-head with Jose Abreu and the Houston Astros.
And it's gone. Home run. Jose Abreu.
The Rangers at the Astros on Sunday Night Baseball.
This is the play-by-play home of Sunday Night Baseball, exclusively on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
Hundreds of Volkswagens in stock and on sale. Hundreds of Mitsubishis, even 100 electric Pintelli golf carts in stock and on sale at Tom's River Auto Group. And not one a penny over sticker. Plus, Tom's River Auto has a Birds fan bonus. $500 off just for showing up in a team jersey, hat, socks, whatever. How easy is that? New or used, Tom's River's got plenty, but hurry. On sale, they're flying. Click Tom'sRiverAutoGroup.com.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Shop Spring Black Friday savings at the Home Depot to get your kitchen clicking. With top brand appliances from Frigidaire, like a new refrigerator with sealed crisper drawers to keep your produce fresher longer. Or a dishwasher with its unique blade spray arm for better water coverage that reaches every corner. Plus, with convenient shopping in-store and online at the Home Depot, your innovative new appliances are just a click away, too. Save up to $500 on select Frigidaire kitchen appliances during Spring Black Friday at the Home Depot.
With GMF financing, qualified buyers excludes Corvette. Ever ask yourself why most people come to Bennett Chevrolet? It's simple. Bennett's selling new Chevys at true GM supplier employee prices. You pay what they pay, not a penny more. Plus, you keep all the rebates. Right now, that's up to $8,000. Now, some dealers are trying to do what we do. They may give you a discount, but then they try to keep some or all of the rebates. Nice try, but not really. Bennett gives you both the GM supplier employee price plus all the rebates. Right now, that's up to $8,000. And there's available 0% financing. Zero. Looking for used? Bennett will pay you a minimum $10,000 for any piece of you can drag to our lot towards any pre-owned in stock. That's at least $10,000. And we pay more, a lot more for good trades. And finally, our sales team is fantastic. Really, unlike other dealers, they're paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. Come see the difference and find new roads at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein. 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live right here at the Tom's River Auto Group studio. Billy Schwein, the intern Andrew Leeds, producer Danny Ryan, the youth movement in here, the old man, age versus youth.
Yep.
We were talking earlier about how that I don't like LeBron James for a myriad of reasons, but KD doesn't, for some reason, KD doesn't push my buttons like LeBron does. But if you want to comment on that, 609-403-0973 is the text board. Or if you'd like to talk about whatever you'd like to talk about to contribute to the show, send it to text with your name and where you're from, and we'll talk about it. 609-403-0973.
Yeah, and you brought up KD, so I think it's about time for Danny to read us the rest of the NBA playoff schedule because KD's going to be in action tonight, right, Danny?
Yes, he is. He is going to be in action tonight. He's in the 8 o'clock game. As Billy mentioned, Lakers-Grizzlies today at 3 p.m. Then the second game for the NBA playoffs today, it's Heat at Bucks at 5:30.
I want to see that.
Really?
Should be a good. I think it could be an interesting series. I think the Bucks are going to win.
I think it'll be interesting, but I'm much more inclined to view the Clippers-Suns series, which will be taking place at 8 p.m. tonight for an 8 p.m. tip-off. That one's going to be good in my opinion.
7.5. The Clippers are getting 7.5.
Wow.
That should be the best series of this.
I mean,
you think so?
It's Russell Westbrook versus KD,
right?
And it's two great teams versus each other. Not to mention Kawhi. Is Paul George healthy? I don't think he is.
I don't know. I'm going to look it up.
He's still banged up, so that's going to be interesting to see how Russell Westbrook can step up for that team.
And then, of course, did you say 8 o'clock the Timberwolves and the Nuggets?
That's at 10.
Is it or 10:30? It's 10:30. I'm sorry.
Yes, that's going to be the later game.
So the Timberwolves are 8-point underdogs.
Wow.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I
honestly think that could be an interesting series too.
I think so
could.
I mean, I'm not like all bias aside, all Joel Embiid bias aside. The Nuggets don't scare me at all.
No,
they're the most fraudulent one seed in my eyes.
So
by the way, Paul George has been ruled out for game 1.
Yeah, he's been dealing with stuff. I tell you what, I really enjoy NBA playoff basketball. It's such a better brand of basketball.
Yeah, you filter out all the teams that aren't really
I mean?
trying. All the
How
teams.
about the last game last night too? Sacramento and Golden State.
Oh my God!
I watched that as well.
That was an instant classic NBA playoff.
That was a great game last night.
It's gonna be a great series.
Light that beam.
609-403-0973 is the text board. If you would like to join the show, participate, name where you're from, and we'll comment on your text message, 609-403-0973. Now, Danny, the Phillies lineup just came out. Would you like to read that off?
Yes, of course. So as I mentioned during On the Mound with Tommy Greene, Aaron Nola is on the bump for the Phillies today. He's 0-2 with a 7.04 ERA, but into the lineup for today, against the Cincinnati Reds. Bryson Stott playing second base. He's leading off, batting second, playing shortstop. Trey Turner batting third, playing left field. Kyle Schwarber batting fourth, and doing the designated hitter duties, Nick Castellanos batting fifth. In center field, Brandon Marsh batting sixth. JT Realmuto at catcher, batting seventh. Alec Boehm at first base, so he's getting the nod at first base again. And then Jake Cave in right field batting eighth. Josh Harrison, who actually pitched an inning yesterday of relief, he's batting ninth, playing third base, and that rounds off the lineup for the Phillies.
We were talking about the lineup without Rhys Hoskins and Bryce Harper. I don't like Castellanos in the fourth hole because he doesn't hit home runs. I mean, his last year at the Reds, he hit what, 305 or something.
He hit 300.
He led the league in doubles.
Yeah, he hit 300 with 30 home runs, but he's been such a good year, bad year player. So I
would put Schwarber, like you said, Danny, in that 4 slot.
Yeah, and when we were off the air, I mentioned to Billy and Andrew that my ideal lineup with Harper out, with Rhys out, it would be Stott leading off, Turner batting second, Boehm batting third, and then Schwarber batting fourth, Castellanos fifth, Realmuto sixth. I think that would be the most beneficial, and then you can fill out the bottom of the lineup as you want. But as far as the key stars, you throw Marsh behind Realmuto, that's still a very decent 7-hitter. Why is Alec Boehm batting seventh?
So listen,
it's ridiculous.
So we talked. We mentioned how there's like 5. Like there's one. Stott's batting 375. Turner's batting 308. Marsh 333. Boehm 333. Sosa 344. Why are we 5 and 10? Obviously pitching, but
runners in scoring position are not coming around.
Right? They're not coming around.
24th.
It's not because we're not hitting the ball.
24th in the league with bringing runners in scoring position home to score. That's awful, Billy. We're leaving almost 4 runners on base in scoring position per game.
During that losing streak, they left 25 men on base.
Phillies bullpen carries a 7.19 ERA, the second worst in Major League Baseball so far.
They're one game better than the Nationals, Billy. The Nationals. They're rebuilding.
Right?
It's bad, man.
It's terrible.
And I'll tell you what, they need Ranger Suarez back more than ever because Matt Strom's not a starter. We got 2 great starts out of him this season so far, but he is not a starter. He is a long reliever at best. He's been put in this role and he's done a great job at it, but the bullpen's already beat up with him out of it.
Now, Alvarado the other day, I mean, leading up to when he surrendered that home run the other day, he was lights out.
He's been
pitched in
terrific.
18 and 2/3 innings. He didn't give up a run.
He's like the one reliever in this bullpen that I trust, aside from maybe Craig Kimbrell at times. I trusted.
And I'm glad you just brought his name up. Craig
Kimbrell, yes.
Craig Kimbrell. Oh, my God.
Kimbrell. Sorry. Craig
Where's
Kimbrell.
the Jeopardy music, Danny? Where's the Jeopardy music?
Let me try to say it again. Craig Kimbrell.
There you go. I got to get you like a ding, so you got it right.
What do you think about his performance so far?
I think he's been okay. At this point in his career, no one's expecting him to be a star, the shutdown closer he once was. I personally wouldn't like him as the closer. In an ideal world, Sir Anthony figures it out and doesn't blow a 3-run or a 1-run lead, letting up 3 runs against the Reds.
Right.
Yeah.
But I can't trust him anymore. So right now, I think I go with Kimbrell. But if I'm Rob Thompson, definitely play it by ear based off performances. But at some point, you have to solidify a closer. Give him confidence. Know he's going to be closing out those games for you.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think he's been all right so far. He hasn't been great, but like Danny said, you don't really expect him to come out and be an elite closer at this level in this stage of his career.
Sir Anthony Dominguez, he was throwing the ball in the upper 90, 98, 99. Now he's 100. He can hit 100 and has hit it consistently, even at the end of last year. I mean, let's face it, he came off Tommy John surgery, not as fast as other pitchers. He was out for what? Almost 2 years.
Almost like 3.
Almost 3
I
years,
mean, they delayed the surgery so long.
Yeah.
They tried to get him to rehabilitate naturally, and it just never worked. And I've talked about this to you, Billy, how I want the Phillies to treat Andrew Painter with much more urgency if he does need surgery. But I'll tell you what, Sir Anthony, I trusted him a lot coming into the season. He had a mid-1 ERA in the entire postseason run. He was dominant. I can't say the same right now, at least through the first 15.
609-403-0973 is the text board. If you want to participate in the show, send us a text with your name, where you're from. We'll comment on it. So, Robbie Thompson, what do you think about his managerial decision so far? He's obviously going to – you're always going to be second guess, but I think he's getting a pass because of the run they went on this year. Remember, they fired Girardi last year. What end of April was it?
I think so, right? Almost close to May. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Can't do that this year.
No. And I mean, I think Rob Thompson, he's had some questionable decisions, but as you said, everything looks better in hindsight.
Right.
I mean, you have 20/20 vision in hindsight. So I think, there's some obvious moments where it's like you got to pull him or you got to.
The problem with who they fired last year, gosh almighty.
Girardi.
I'm having a senior moment here.
Yeah.
Saw this youth in the
Girardi,
studio.
they said that the players felt pressure. Like they felt like they were walking on eggshells. Here, World Series manager, champion, played on the Yankees, World Series, right? I mean, he's got a good resume.
Yeah, he had the pedigree for
He had
sure.
the pedigree, right? So I guess the players would tighten up.
Yeah.
Robbie Thompson doesn't give him that.
No, and that's why I really do like him as the manager.
I do
but
too.
I just think that to start the year off, he's made some questionable decisions, starting with the lineup every day.
So I think you said this. I don't know if you said it on the air, but it's worth repeating if you did.
Mm-hmm.
The Phillies are losing to the Reds, the Marlins.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Texas. It's like you're losing the teams that like the Reds are 100. They lost 100 games last year.
Yeah, I was telling you guys off
They
the air.
need to win these type of games. We're looking at their schedule, going, "Oh, they should take 3 out of 4. They should take 2 out of 3." They're not doing it right now.
And even if you have a bad series where you win 1 game, drop 2, you bounce back against a bad team like the Reds and you win 2 out of 3. That's what you have to do. Take care of business. And, it's still early. We might sound like delusional Philly fans over here panicking 15 games in the season. But like I said to you.
I don't think our panic is like it was last year.
No.
You weren't in that chair last year.
No.
I wasn't here at the start of the
here
year.
at the
No,
start
I wasn't here till September.
We were more concerned last year. I don't think the fan base, we're not getting that reaction.
That's what happens when you make the World Series.
Right.
You get some benefit of the doubt.
A little bit of a hangover, would you say, as far as like.
Yeah. They're not used to playing through November.
Right. They had to play through they had to play up until November 5th it was last year.
I think so.
Like that.
So a shorter offseason. Some of them did the World Baseball Classic.
Exactly. World Baseball Classic.
Injuries.
No, we're not making excuses, are we?
I don't think it's excuses. I think it's just a justifiable explanation.
Astros are having a hangover. They're 7-8.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey.
Tampa Bay lost their first game the other day.
I did see that, man. That was a crazy run, by the way.
It's a shame to see it end. It would have been nice to see them get to, what was it, like the 18-60, whatever the 20-game win streak was.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't sense the sense of urgent panic or with the Phillies and people that I talk to. I don't know about your circles.
No, people aren't that extra. People obviously, it's like, they suck right now, but nobody.
I think the big topic is everybody's talking about the new rules in the pitch clock.
Mm-hmm.
How it has made the game go faster, but it's overshadowed. I think what the Phillies are doing.
And right now, the Sixers, they're entering the postseason. That's going to overshadow their struggles as well. Especially how good they looked yesterday.
Look what the Eagles did to the Flyers. Nobody even knew the Flyers existed because the Eagles. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, to be fair,
starts in October.
To be fair, the Flyers are also the reason nobody knew that the Flyers existed.
But they're lucky because if the Eagles were in Super Bowl, that season was magical, right?
Yeah.
13-3 was it?
Yeah,
14-3.
14-3. That's right. Win at the end of the year.
14-3. If they were say 10-7 and struggling the whole way, people would be more upset with the Flyers, I think. But because the Eagles went on such a nice run after the Phillies, the Flyers became irrelevant.
They had house money.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about them right now. It's just a matter of, like you kind of alluded at, they should be beating the Miami Marlins, the Texas Rangers, the Cincinnati Reds of the world. And I think that because they're not, we're more upset than we are panicking. But at the same time, it's 15 games into the season of 162. You can't really panic right now until you get past 50 games, would you say?
Yeah, I think that's if they're like,
then you really have to start making some
38.
moves.
It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
But right now, I'm not too worried. It's just these are winnable games, and the fact that you lost 13-0 against the Cincinnati Reds and
they lost 100 games last year.
I mean, it's terrible, Billy. That's what I can't get over because it's not that I'm worried they're not going to turn it around. It's just bad losses. It's very bad losses.
So you're sitting in front of the TV and you're watching the Phils, and then the wheels are falling off. You just click the channel and move on. Thank God the Sixers were on.
Yeah.
Or the NBA playoffs too.
And then we'll have the NFL draft coming up soon
Right.
too to distract us, all the possibilities and possibly.
That's a great segue because you know what? On the other side, we're going to talk some Eagles football, some Eagles draft.
Talk a little Bijan Robinson, the Philly, maybe?
I'm not talking Bijan Robinson. You young guys might be.
We'll see. I haven't shared my opinion yet. We'll see.
It's going to be a fun one.
For over 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in southern Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City, New Jersey. It's a landmark. Got to pass by Circle Liquors. With a friendly staff, it's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City, with the most competitive prices around. Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of the second hour of the Locker Room with Billy Schwein. Throwing a party? Let Chet and his staff make sure you have everything you need. Check out their website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. That's 609-927-2921. Call Circle Liquors in Summers Point, New Jersey. Ask for Chet. Tell him we said hello. A new wind is blowing at Maserati of the Main Line. The all-new Maserati Gregale midsize SUV has officially arrived. Stop by Maserati of the Main Line, located in Devon, PA, just minutes away from Center City, Philadelphia, to experience it for yourself. With class-leading space, advanced driving, and technology features, the Gregale makes every journey a thrilling experience. From your daily commute to weekend road trips, the Maserati Gregale elevates every moment into something truly special. Test drive the all-new Gregale for yourself and experience how it makes every day exceptional. Visit them online at motml.com or give them a call at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800. And ask for Michael Pileggi. Ask him for a test drive today. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the Locker Room with Billy Schwein, 97.3 ESPN.
It's Sixers playoff basketball tomorrow on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the 76ers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Here's Joel with it, turning on Claxton, goes beyond the arc, a fadeaway three, and he made it! It draws oozing on from the crowd.
It's Sixers Nets. Game 2 tomorrow. Coverage begins at 7:30. It's Sixers playoff basketball on your radio home of the Sixers in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Call Lenigan again and again. Call Lenigan again and again.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, salads, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Hi, this is ex-Philadelphia Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, and I'm the current publisher of Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and I'm asking you to become a Camden County police officer and help make our city a better place to live. The Camden County Police Department is now hiring for sworn officers who are going to make a difference in our community. The first year's salary for the position is $51,000. So join the effort today to be part of something bigger than yourself. Visit CamdenCountyPD.org to apply online. That's CamdenCountyPD.org. Thank you.
It's Spring Black Friday at the Home Depot, which means it's time to get your outdoor spaces ready so you can enjoy more this season. Right now, you can get the Stylewell Park Point 4-piece patio set at a new lower price of $3.99. With its stain-resistant cushions and modern relaxed styling, it's the perfect centerpiece for your porch, deck, or patio, whether you're looking for sunny lounging or evening gathering. Hurry into the Home Depot to get the Stylewell Park Point patio set at a new lower price, just $3.99. Shop Spring Black Friday savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Now, more of The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back here in the locker room, broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schwein, the intern Andrew Lee, producer Danny Ryan, the youth movement in here on Sundays. A fresh approach to the locker room. We was about a water cooler talking sports with your buddies. That's what we do in here. Hey, listen, I want to remind people about the two charities that we've been talking about. On Saturday, June 17th, Tara's Happy Box fundraiser, benefiting local children at the American Legion in Summers Point from 3 p.m. to 7. Tickets are $25. It includes entry, food, and entertainment. For more information, contact Tara Cioli at 609-415-8398 or email her tarashappyboxes@gmail.com. And also Brian Probst's Gaffa Golf Classic benefiting the Stroke Center of the University of Pennsylvania on May 15th at the Riverwinds and Golf and Tennis Club. For more details, visit golfgaffa.com. And by the way, who just Jamie Foxx had a stroke.
Scary things to see, man.
Jamie Foxx.
You know what's weird? I'm surprised more people aren't talking about it. I feel like I've barely
maybe
heard
they don't
about
want.
it.
Maybe they want to keep it hush hush.
I mean, yeah, that's
We
understandable.
don't know the severity of it, right?
No, I don't think so. That's what's weird about
Brian
it.
Probst's a great guy. We've had him in the studio. We've had him on the show plenty of times. He suffered a stroke, and you know it's devastating. You know, it's hard to come back from that, but he's doing a great job. We wish him well. Make sure you contact Brian Probst, GaffaGolf.com to participate in that. You know that movie Django?
Django Unchained. I love that movie.
He was great in that movie.
He's phenomenal. I mean,
Jamie Foxx.
Him and Christoph Waltz and Leo, they all kill it in that movie. It's one of my favorite Tarantinos.
Is it really? Yeah, I think
for me, my number one is Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's my favorite. I like that one. I haven't seen Pulp Fiction recent enough to like have an opinion. Same with Reservoir Dogs. Kill Bill, I've never seen.
I've never seen that either.
I know it's supposed to be great. There's two of them, but I haven't seen
I'm not
them
a
yet.
big Tarantino guy, but that's not. What do you think, Danny?
What do you mean? Just as far as Jamie Foxx?
Those movies were.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino.
He's a very.
You know what?
He's
Hold
a very
on.
good producer.
Hold on. He got quiet over there. Do you notice he goes, "What about the movies?"
Hey, listen.
You're not into that?
I'm not a big movie guy. I'll just straight up say it.
Wow.
I'm more TV shows than I am movies, but
Okay.
I can appreciate a few Quentin Tarantino films. I will say.
What's your favorite?
Django Unchained was pretty
So
good
you
too.
do-
I saw
oh,
that.
sorry, so you do like that
I saw that the most recent, out of all of his movies. But like I said, I just don't have the
Let
time
me-
to sit down and dedicate like 3 hours.
Let me take a delve into the youth movement here. Danny, what's your television lineup? What do you obviously you watch sports first.
Yeah, that's the thing that pollutes me. Like I don't get to watch movies because I'm watching sports a lot.
Do you
but,
watch? So what are your go-to TV shows?
If I have like I'll put a show on in the background to like watch or just have as background noise. Modern Family.
Modern Family.
That's a good one.
It's a very good one.
Very attractive. What's her name?
Sofia Vergara. That's why you're watching Modern Family.
Me and my roommates have recently.
I'm not watching it for Married with Children guy. What's his name?
I know who you're talking
yeah.
about. The dad.
The dad.
Yeah. Recently we've been on a Seinfeld kick.
Yeah,
Seinfeld's very good. It's a classic.
Do you watch any news?
No.
Well,
I
do you
watch
watch
sports
Leeds,
news.
No. Do you watch any news, Leeds?
No. All I watch are sports.
So sports number one. The most.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm
You
kind of the
dedicate
opposite of Danny. I'm not much of a TV guy. My favorite series of all time include It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Is a great
That's a good
show.
one, yep.
That's a great one. It's ridiculous. I'm getting into Ted Lasso. I've only watched 3 episodes, but it's incredible so far.
So I'm a big news guy. As I've gotten older, I'm
How does it not put you in a
Fox-
bad mood anymore?
Wait, you mean
I
the
watch-
guy who carries a newspaper to the show every day is a news guy?
I watch a lot of news. Yeah. As I've gotten older, I watch a lot of news.
Yeah,
I watch Fox News.
You know,
too.
so does my grandparents.
I watch Fox News, man.
Why?
Interesting.
Because I don't know. As I've gotten older, it's important as sports is for me.
But that 70s show
that
is
weird?
always on.
But you know what I
Comedy
watch?
Central.
You know what I watch relentlessly that I can't get away from? Law and Order.
Mm.
Can't pull away from that.
How does that the start of Law and Order go? There's a sound effect.
These two,
Oh, yeah.
these two entities, police and who investigate the crime, and the attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
Hey.
Yeah. Literally. So I'm like I go 50-50 with the sport. I know I go 70% sports.
For me, for TV, it's like
I'd have to say 60% sports, 35% news, and I watch. I watch Law and Order. That's it.
I'm probably at like 90% sports. I mean, I really don't watch TV I don't think there's a show that's currently running that I watch. Besides, I'm getting into Ted Lasso. I'm more into movies. I actually just went to the Delsey Drive-In this past weekend.
Did you really?
Yeah, with the Delsey
It's an
Drive-In.
outdoor drive-in.
Yeah, an outdoor drive-in. It's the only one in like all of Jersey. It's at Delsey Drive.
They've got an outdoor drive-in.
Yeah,
there?
in Sicklerville around.
That's
in
when I grew up. When I grew
Yeah,
up,
it's right by Glassboro. It's like 20 minutes away from Rowan. I picked up my brother from Rowan on the way there. We saw the Mario movie.
When I was growing up, that was big.
Yeah, I love
pull up to
drive-ins.
pull the speaker into your car.
Yeah, see, we just
Right?
turn on the radio station. We don't even have that.
Yeah, well, obviously, right?
We,
A lot of
yeah,
technology.
but I mean, yeah, it was
There
great.
was one in Cherry Hill. You know the site of the Hilton
I think so.
right there by the Cooper River.
You know what I
Used to be
think,
a
Billy?
big drive-in theater.
You know what I think? I think you're dodging talking about the Philadelphia Eagles right now.
Yeah,
With all
you don't
this
want to. You don't want
Get off on a
news.
tangent.
You don't want to open this Bijan Robinson.
No, because I see what you guys
conversation.
are getting ready to do. So I'm going to get in a 3-point stance.
You have
And
no idea what I'm getting ready to do.
You tell me you're I'm going to tell you you're out of your mind if you want to draft a running back at number 10.
Of course you'd think that. No, I'm just
So
kidding.
give me
listen,
your.
listen. My first pick at 10 isn't Bijan Robinson. Jalen Carter's there at 10. You take Jalen
Yes.
Carter. If Bijan Robinson is, probably the smartest pick because he has the most talent there at 10, I support it. But if Jalen Carter's there, you definitely consider him and you take him over Bijan Robinson in that position. However, that might be the one.
So the Eagles lost 5 starters on defense.
I get it. But that might be the one position, running back, or pardon me, D tackle in Jalen Carter, where I would take that over Bijan Robinson. I wouldn't take a corner over Bijan Robinson. I wouldn't take an offensive lineman that's going to sit 2 years behind our veterans.
All right, so I'm glad to hear you say that because I would never take a running back. Like, what do we need secondary help? Would you say that?
Yeah, but I feel
we
like
have no depth. We have no depth, and we need a safety.
We need safety depth. We have more depth.
We're talking about safety. I mean, Buda Baker just became available.
Yeah,
He's
but
a lot of money.
Yeah, but we got a lot of money. We got to make a trade for him.
I mean, but you know Harry Roseman. He's
draft
a capologist.
Yes, he is.
But do you want a safety at 10?
Actually, you know who I
Do you
want?
want a corner at 10?
I want Ringo from Georgia, the quarterback.
Keely Ringo.
Yeah,
But I think you could trade that.
Dude, I've seen him play. I watched
I
Georgia.
know.
Like
I'm just saying he might be there at 30.
I would much rather take.
well,
So we're
I-
talking about pick 10.
Yeah, well,
Here's my
not
idea.
pick 10.
Okay.
You know what I think? How he might do trade down.
I wouldn't
try
be
to get
surprised.
creative.
So for what my opinion,
Because you could trade down and still because the draft is defensive back heavy. and
Yeah.
defensive heavy. Let's put there's only we don't need a quarterback. Jalen Hurts is our guy.
There's no elite.
We got Marcus Mariota. Yeah. We don't need a receiver.
There's no elite receiver.
We don't need a tight end.
You know what we do need? You know what we do need? A running back.
We don't need a running back.
Okay, so my opinion,
yeah, it's okay. Rashad Penny tears his ACL week 3 and we're screwed.
Well, I mean that can happen to anybody. Well,
but
you would have taken
the writing's on the wall with him.
All right, there's 4 running backs in this draft that are
okay. See, you're about to bring up there are some good running backs. I'm personally at this point leaning towards going. Obviously, if Jalen Carter is available, I would trade up to 6 or 7 for him if we have to.
You would trade up?
I would trade up for Jalen Carter, but when it comes to running back, I really like Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama. I think he's a good.
He's a kid. I like that kid.
At pick 30, I'm taking him.
I would like that, and that's the thing. Like,
I'd prefer the second round, but I would take him with the 30.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what the Eagles' modus operandi is: offensive and defensive.
Yeah, the trenches. Yeah, I don't know.
That's where these games are won up front.
You see, I had this discussion with my good buddy Mike. He knows more about the draft and everything than me. And the way that I put it is, I get building in the trenches, but normally with building in the trenches, you're building for like the future, obviously. But the problem is the war is right now with the Eagles. Their window is open. You can't. They have the trenches built. They need the tank.
Yeah, but you can get a running back.
They need the tank to win this war.
You can get a running back anywhere.
Yeah, you can, Billy, but you can't get a Bijan Robinson anywhere.
Like, would you add Derrick Henry to this team? If Derrick Henry was in the draft at pick 10,
if you could get him,
would you use the 10th overall pick on, like, let's just say hypothetically, would you use the 10th overall pick on Derrick Henry?
Because that's what Bijan
No, you
Robinson has
wouldn't?
the potential to be.
You wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I just can't see.
Essentially, it'd be trading the 10th pick for Derrick Henry.
Right.
It's tough because you add a dynamic running back in this offense.
And you bring a good point. It is risky. It is rich.
Yes, and I agree with you in that sense. I don't want to pay a first-round running back. I don't want to pay a running back that money.
But and here's another thing too, Danny. You only get a running back. What's the life expectancy of a running
exactly.
back? 4
and
years
tops. That's why there's a lot of risk to it. I get it. But like I said before, if Jalen Carter is not available there, like that's the one exception I make because of how bad the defensive line got this past offseason. Like you said, losing the starters. That's the only exception I'd make. But at 10, if it doesn't make a lot of sense to draft a corner there at 10, I mean, think about it. Bradbury came back. Slay came back.
Right.
Avonte Maddox is the cornerback 3. Do you really need a cornerback that bad? I don't think so.
Get this, Billy. You brought this up. You want to hear what the average length of a running back is for a career? 2.5 seasons.
2.5 seasons. Now the draft is deep with tight ends too, but I think we're set up with tight ends. So I would even.
Yeah,
we could use a depth tight end for sure.
They might be
We
able to use a
definitely
backup. You know, I don't really want
Stoll. What's his name? Who's the
Stoll is
Jack
fine.
Stoll, Grant Calcaterra.
Calcaterra was what he could catch.
I wouldn't mind using a third.
He just can't
round
block,
pick.
right?
I would
What's
mind.
the knock on him? He can't block.
I would like a better blocking veteran tight end that's been there, done that.
I wouldn't waste any. I wouldn't waste.
But not a draft pick. I wouldn't want a rookie.
Waste any draft capital on a tight end.
I wouldn't draft a tight end, but if they did it, I would understand.
What do you think about Bijan's backup at 30, possibly, or even later in the second round, third round?
Yeah, what's his name again?
I completely forgot. I'm going to have to look it up, but he's been getting a lot of draft
How about the
hype.
kid from Pittsburgh? There's a running back from Pittsburgh was good.
There's a lot of good running backs in this draft.
Yeah,
Billy.
I think you can get a tough running back. I would go. Jalen Carter.
Number 1.
I just think Howie's going to move off.
Well,
I think Howie's going to move off.
Rashawn Johnson.
I think Howie's going to move off that 10th. He's going to either trade.
I think so.
I think he's going to trade down.
I think so.
Because unless he goes up to get Carter,
he always makes a move, Billy. Either up or down, he's making a move.
But I wouldn't give up that 10th pick for Derrick Henry.
You wouldn't? You decided?
No,
I'd see, and I understand that perspective. For me,
think about this though. We went to the Super Bowl. We're like what's the last team that went to the Super Bowl and had a first round pick?
2008 in the New England Patriots.
Yeah, I mean 2 first round picks in the entire round,
right?
Which is great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give up the 10th pick for Derrick Henry just because he's got his tenure already. He's got his mileage.
Right.
But as a rookie,
I would draft Bijan Robinson at 10 though.
He's playing with house money. How long has he been in the league?
Exactly. And his whole thing is he's big. He can just plow people over. What happens when he can't anymore? What happens when he's not as explosive out of the backfield?
So my draft board pretty much Jalen Carter number 1. I like Nolan Smith as well out of Georgia. I think just reuniting any of those, either Nolan Smith or Jalen Carter with Jordan Davis.
Who needs help?
That's Nolan Smith. He's an edge.
Devin White just announced that he wants out of Tampa Bay.
Yeah, not for $20 million, however.
And then it comes to the question again: do you want a first-round linebacker? Do you want to take a chance on linebacker?
And the Eagles never do that.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's a good point you bring up too. As much as I think if Jalen Carter's not there, it would make sense for the Eagles to take Bijan Robinson. I think there's about a 20% chance at best that Howie Roseman does that, barring some sort of draft shakeup.
And another key with Jalen Carter is everyone, there are the off-the-field concerns, but Adam Schefter went on to say this about the Eagles potentially drafting him. Billy, do you know who the guy who always used to keep Jalen Carter in check back in that Georgia locker room?
It was Jordan Davis.
It was Jordan Davis. Bring him into this culture. Have Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, all.
Yeah, but I don't. You know what? So what did he do? He went drag racing.
I think he was drunk.
So what happened?
He was in a car.
He wasn't the one that was actually in trouble.
But what happened was
he was there, right?
But he does just have a bit of.
So what is he guilty by association?
No, here's what happened, Billy. He was drag racing with his Georgia teammates and a fellow staff member, and he didn't get pulled over, but they did, and they got a DUI for it. But he lied to the police and said he wasn't anywhere within 5 miles of the scene. He was right down the road, less than a mile away.
And I do.
So that's where he got himself into some trouble. And then he gained 15 pounds from the combine, or no, it was from the pro day to when he showed up at the combine. He was 15 pounds heavier.
Let's keep in mind he's a college kid.
Yeah.
So he had a couple of indiscretions. He's not a bad. I mean,
no.
Does that make him like?
No, I don't. I think it's all overblown.
I do too.
The thing is,
but
though,
I could see he just.
Well, but you said, and I did see that. Like,
well, no,
Jordan
I
Davis
think
was able to keep him in line.
Well, I think
so.
That,
is there something we're missing here?
I think that he definitely does have a bit of a feisty personality, but a lot of players do. That's the point. I mean, if you're not feisty, if you're not passionate.
Look, when we read when you talk to people around Georgia, the program, the one guy that could keep Jalen Carter really in line was Jordan Davis. Why are they saying that?
I'm thinking that Jalen Carter.
Is there something else we're not seeing?
He has an edge.
Like where there's smoke, there's fire.
Maybe, but you know what? He'll be with Jordan Davis in Philly, so I'm on board.
I think there might be when there's smoke, there's fire, Billy, because, you mentioned he's just a college kid, but at the same time, this is a college kid who has his entire life ahead of him. Guaranteed top 10 first-round pick in this upcoming draft, and you show up 15 pounds heavier to the combine, and you get yourself involved with drunk drag racing, like you're a college kid, but you know how much of a future you have. I don't excuse that at all.
Yeah, but he's still an immature kid. I mean, you don't think he's immature?
Yeah, that's exactly why he's getting himself in these situations.
So, all right. He's a kid,
Billy,
though.
if I was sitting here today, 18 years, 19 years of age, on the show with you as a guest, and I had a future as a top 10 pick in this year's NFL draft, would I be drunk drag racing? Would I be showing up 15 pounds heavier of fat to the combine? No, I'd be prioritizing getting in shape and not getting myself in trouble.
It's really nice to see that you young guys have that much maturity and can.
I wouldn't go that far.
But there's some kids that can't.
Yeah.
Including high profile athletes that play at the University of Georgia.
Brandon Miller as well at University of Alabama. He couldn't keep himself out of trouble.
Listen to me sticking up for but
even the quarterback at Georgia. I can't think of his name for the life of me.
Oh, Stetson Bennett.
Don't you do dumb things when you're young? No.
So we have a text in. I'm not sure exactly who it's from, but says Gainwell and Scott will be fine.
Yes, I think so too.
You can put anyone behind this line, and they will put up 1,000 yards.
And who was the guy that was who's the backup? The other running back that we had.
Rashad Penny.
He didn't play that much last year.
He hasn't played.
Oh, you're talking about Trey Sermon?
Yeah, Sermon.
Oh.
Yeah, he was in the practice squad. Sirianni had some good words about him.
Yeah.
I disagree with this. I think Gainwell could get 1,000 yards easy. Boston Scott's not getting 1,000 yards behind this line. He's not getting 1,000.
Maybe against the Giants.
And that's the thing. Like, that's why I at least want a running back, and we'll head to break real quick right after this, Billy. I want a running back either whether it be in the first, second, third, fourth round, just because you lose a Rashad Penny at Boston Scott, you're relying on a Trey Sermon.
Then you're right.
You're relying on him.
All right. For 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with a friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City, with the most competitive prices around. Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of the second hour of the Locker Room with Billy Schweim. Throwing a party? Let Chet and his staff make sure you have everything you need. Check out their website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. That's Circle Liquor Store in Summers Point, New Jersey. Tell Chet we said hello. Just about everybody in our area's heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that's run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of the private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month they'll have private events and upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey to attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. When we return, we'll wrap it up. You're listening to The Locker with Billy Schweim right here on 97.3 ESPN.
The NBA playoffs today on ESPN Radio. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers head to Memphis for Game 1 against Ja Morant and the Grizzlies.
For the Lakers, Anthony Davis needs to be the dominant player on the court. As for Memphis, winning this series comes down to one thing: discipline.
Game 1 of the Lakers and Grizzlies, presented by Indeed. Coverage begins today at 2:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Listen to the NBA playoffs exclusively on 97.3 ESPN.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Every year, hundreds of children suffer from unintentional injuries or death due to unsecured guns. Camden County and Moms Demand Action South Jersey are asking for your help to reduce gun violence by spreading the Be Smart message.
Store guns unloaded, locked, and separate from ammunition. And talk to other parents about secure gun storage.
It's up to us to prevent these tragedies and save lives. Visit CamdenCounty.com/BeSmart to learn how we can stop gun accidents and deaths together.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
The Eagles Draft Party is back at Maynard's Cafe in Margate on Thursday, April 27th. You can win an Eagles road trip for 4. Try Maynard's legendary crab cakes or one of their famous sandwiches. We have something for everyone. Visit for lunch or dinner and stay for the fun-filled nightlife. Just listen to the Sports Bash with Mike Gill to qualify and join the party at Maynard's Cafe in Margate on Thursday, April 27th, starting at 2 p.m. There's always something exciting going on at Maynard's. Visit Maynard's today, your one-stop destination for fun in Margate.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, a meal insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Big Lou.
All right, we're back here, signing off. Broadcasting live in the Tom's River Auto Group Studios. Danny, what's the what times we got today for the Phillies? At 1:40 start?
1:40
first pitch.
Philadelphia Phillies today. Hopefully they can get a win and get their 6th of the season.
Plenty of basketball today.
Plenty of playoff basketball. It's going to be a good slate today. We got, Miami, Milwaukee at 3. We got,
I want to thank Tommy Greene for coming on every Sunday on the Mound with Tommy Greene. Brought to you by the John R. Elliott Hero Campaign for designated drivers every Sunday. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. Danny Ryan, great job. Andrew Leeds, as always.
Thank you.
Good job. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and we will see you next Saturday and Sunday right here in the locker room. Billy Schweiner, 97.3.
The preceding program was paid for by The Locker Room with Billy Schwein.
The